High school student.
Nice.
Oh, college. Senior.
Oh, I'm sorry. College.
Senior.
Where do you go to school?
Stockton?
Stockton.
You're a senior in college?
Yeah.
And he just called you a high school student?
Yeah. I know.
Sorry.
Wow.
Wait.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Ryan does the games for Hagerstown,
Suns.
Yes.
and he does
Which
not.
one is that?
Um,
Is that the Giants? Used to be.
National.
He used to be the Giants, the Nationals guy.
you don't
Oh.
use RBIs, right?
No.
You don't use RBIs? Thank you.
He's asking
Very
me
happy.
a couple. He's doing a paper on sabermetrics.
Oh. Nice. I
He's
like
a,
it.
he's a good dude.
He must be the who you're referring
Yeah.
to.
Do you know that
You-
the owner of the Nationals is from Lakewood? One of the owners?
Didn't-
Stan Caston?
No.
Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Stan Caston's from
He's
Lakewood.
from
I know it was
Lakewood.
that.
Sure
I know
he
Stan
is.
Cassidy
I have
was
no
from
idea.
Lakewood.
My father went to high school with him.
That's funny. I had no idea.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I take a fairly atypical approach to broadcasting baseball
Yeah.
games
Against.
in general.
in general,
Okay,
In
good.
general,
Good. Happy.
where did that come from?
my atypical approach to broadcasting baseball games.
Yes.
I think it's stupid that people rely on stupid statistics, and I listen to a lot of broadcasts and I go, "This guy kind of sucks," but he sounds like every other guy who kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I just do it differently.
You reference BABIP on the air, right?
I reference BABIP. I reference FIP. I talk about line drive rates and ground ball rates and infield fly rates and all those things,
great.
and strand rates and,
Yeah.
and things that actually mean things. And I don't get.
Ways BABIP,
Where do
I
you-
think, is about
I don't-
400.
I don't really like pour into players' history and stuff either. I'd much rather talk about what's going on in the field and talk about stats when I can that make sense, and then other times just have as much fun as I can.
But aren't you concerned that some people might understand what you're
I
saying?
explain them.
Good.
I don't know how well I explain them. It's tough because you have to reference, we're talking about FIP, and it's important, and I talk about it a lot. Do I have to go over exactly what it is every time, or can I only go over what it is every now and then, or how do I talk about it? So I've just kind of dumbed it down to basically it's what a pitcher's ERA would be if they had complete control over everything. So this is what their ERA deserves to be, roughly.
Right.
And I talk about, I have qualifiers in there for it, but that's kind of
Did you see Sierra, the new stat? Sierra? It takes out line drive percentage because they figured out that's not really a skill.
I haven't looked at it.
It's
But
baseball
FIP doesn't,
perspective.
but FIP doesn't use line drive percentage anyways.
Yeah, but when it takes the
Sierra
home
might-
runs,
But FIP,
it uses actual all batted ball data
Right.
because there's ground balls and fly balls is also a skill.
yes, but FIP doesn't use that.
Right, exactly. But FIP is not as accurate as Sierra.
Right, but in minor league baseball, you can't find Sierra for minor league baseball.
Right.
I can
You
find
can
FIP
calculate
for
it.
Yeah, I can't calculate it quickly enough when a reliever comes
No,
in though.
no,
So
I know.
I have to use FIP, which is
100%.
fine, which I'm okay with. It's way better than ERA.
You use minor league splits?
Yes,
What's the difference
absolutely.
between FIP and xERA?
xERA is just ERA, but ballpark and context neutralized.
Gotcha.
FIP is just a different stat.
This is very interesting. Did you
FIP-X is neutralized.
did you read the article by Boog Shambi where he talked about trying to
I have read it. I have read that. Yes.
with Chipper Jones?
Yeah, and that's interesting. I also read something on Fangraphs about 2 weeks after that came out, kind of a response to it. That was an interesting little bit on there, and I actually put in the comments there that I'm a baseball broadcaster trying to work that in, and it seemed like people were positive to it. I mean that's preaching to the choir there, but it seemed like it's something that needs to be done. It's something that will be done eventually.
Do you have a positive response when people are talking about it?
I don't know who's that. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
I don't get a lot of feedback, tons in general, anyways. I mean, I think as long as I wasn't swearing on there, the
Of
response
course
would be the
not.
same no matter what. But so there are a few people who've enjoyed it and appreciated it that I've heard from, and I think there are probably other people that I lose. People I lose, they don't want to know more about baseball. They just want to turn on and listen to a baseball game, and that's fine, which is okay. But it's not my thing. I like to know more about baseball, so that's kind of why I do it. So I don't know. I don't feel like I'm like this great pioneer of sabermetrics in minor league baseball or anything, or in broadcasting. But I think that it's the direction people are going to be going soon.
Oh, for sure.
It's already going that direction. Some what people are using on base. Yeah, hey, Joe Morgan uses on base percentage sometimes. Doesn't understand it, but I've heard him talk about it.
Ravitch is using WPA.
Who is?
Ravitch.
I don't know who Ravitch is.
Call Ravitch.
Oh,
Baseball
Ravitch.
Tonight.
Ravitch. Yeah, absolutely. And people are actually using things like that. I mean, Rob Nyer has a place in ESPN now, which is fantastic. You know,
And the TMI blog, Mark Simon. Did you see this?
No.
They use Tom Tango.
I know Tango.
So they use all Tango and Fangraphs, and
great.
they put it all
great.
together into one little blog.
Great. That's fantastic.
ESPN did it.
ESPN's going the right direction. They're
Yeah.
behind the curve, but they're catching up.
That's what the baseball perspective started like 20 years ago.
Prospectus, the website started in '94. It was Jazzy Yearly and Davenport and those guys put together.
What was
in
the first
1994.
Bill James abstract?
Oh, the first Bill James
79?
abstract was 79 or 80,
Yeah.
yeah. And then he had his home-produced ones. They may have come out before that even, but the first real one was about 79, 80.
Alan Schwartz used to work for ESPN. So he wrote a book called The Numbers Game. You've read that?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of
Read
it?
it.
So it's fascinating. Alan Roth was the first person to work. He figured
Started
out.
really doing some of that stuff.
Yeah, he worked for the Dodgers when they got Robinson. and stuff.
It makes sense, and I don't know, things that make more sense to me I try to use. Some of the things I can't do. I'd love to be able to use wins, win shares or WPA or VORP or whatever you wanted to do.
Too complex.
I just can't do it for minor league baseball.
Yeah.
I can't even use
Well,
ML.
soon.
At this
Hey,
level,
Joe.
I can't even use MLEs.
Just 30, the
Unfortunately.
starting pitcher is
MLE?
35 or 36. Lamb
Ours?
Parts is 35, Rosters is 36. Shreve.
That's wrong. 36.
It is 6.
Was it minor league?
Major league equivalents?
Equivalences, yeah.
Just too low to be using MLEs, unfortunately, because that'd be fun.
I don't even know how they get to those things.
Oh,
They're very complex.
They are. I can't do anything. I'm not a math guy. I'm brutal at math.
I'm a math major.
That's great. I'm not. I'm a guy who likes words, and so I can take what other people have done and try to translate it into the words for people, but I have no ability to get in. I don't understand it. I don't know where they come from. If enough people are trusting it, I usually end up trusting it, but I can't do the back end stuff myself. I'm just not that guy. I do have spreadsheets set up on my computer for FIP and those things because I didn't used to be able to use minor league splits because it didn't exist or I didn't know about it. But now that I do, I don't even have to worry about that. I just take it from somebody else.
I
Okay.
wonder when they'll start implementing that stuff into the portal.
2047.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.